नमस्ते बिटियाओं, हमेशा खुश रहिए और स्वस्थ रहिए। दिस इज़ JVN ब्रिजेश कुमार यादव, फैकल्टी ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड मेथडोलॉजी, ज्योति विद्यापीठ वुमेंस यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर। आई वेलकम टू all of you in my digital class. Students, I have prepared this lecture for BSc B.Ed ZBC 8th semester. Botany paper, topic is PCR. Students, as you all know, we were discussing about biotechnology and some of the tools of biotechnology. On previous turn, we have studied some of the tools in brief, but today we are going to study one of the most important technique into the detail, which is very important for your examination point of view. That is polymerase chain reaction, PCR in short. Okay, so let's start this PCR. PCR is a technique that takes a specific sequence of DNA of a small amount and amplifies it to be used for further testing. And this is an in vitro technique. Students, try to understand that this PCR is a technique which used to amplify large amount of DNA, that is template. Students, again I am emphasizing, in cloning you need large amount of template. Okay, in that case you should have ample amount of template. Suppose you have very less amount of template, so first you have to store your template in large amount, then you will proceed further. Okay, so for that purpose this PCR is being used. Okay, this PCR is one of the most important and revolutionary advancement in the field of biotechnology. This is quite similar to Xerox machine. I am trying to make you better understand in layman term. You think it as a Xerox machine. What you do in Xerox machine, you get a paper which you do its Xerox and large amount of its replica you get. Okay, similarly same thing happened in PCR. Here your template will be DNA, and after some period of time, certain cycles, you will get huge number of copies of same template. Okay, and this is the in vitro techniques. Students, there are two terms which are frequently used in the field of biotechnology. These are in vitro and in vivo. In vitro is that condition which carried out in test tube, in lab, that is in vitro. But when that activity or that vital process experiment can be done in living organisms such as bacteria, plants, animals, that is in vivo. So this PCR is in vitro technique, means out of organisms, in test tube, in machine we perform it. Okay, so this is PCR. Now before moving to ahead, it is important to study some of the brief history of PCR, how this PCR have been developed, who has developed. Okay, so in 1983 Dr. Kary Mullis developed PCR. Students, I am strongly recommending you at least some of the scientist name you should remember in the field of biotechnology, because in competitive exams they used to ask who has developed which instrument, which hypothesis, which principles. So being a student of biotechnology, you must know some of the scientist name and what he has done and which kind of experiment, which kind of instrument they have developed. So here try to focus this Dr. Kary Mullis is a scientist who has developed PCR in 1983. In 1985 there was first publication of PCR which appeared in Science journal. In 1986 there was a purification of Taq polymerase for the first time in PCR. Students, this Taq polymerase is one of the most important and crucial advancement in the field of PCR. This is an enzyme which is isolated from particular bacteria. We'll talk about it later on. In 1988, Perklin Emmer introduced the automated thermocycle. In 1989, science declares Taq polymerase a molecule of the year. Next, in 1990, amplification and detection of specific DNA sequences using a fluorescent DNA binding dye, laying the foundation of future real-time or RT-PCR. In 1991, RT-PCR is developed. Students, there are two terms in the field of PCR, RT-PCR, but this RT-PCR designate two different terms. One is RT-PCR real-time PCR and second is RT-PCR is reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase is a PCR which used to amplify RNA as a template, means to prepare cDNA, complementary DNA. You might be knowing in your molecular biology class. So for that purpose, so in 1991 this RT-PCR is developed. In 1993, Dr. Kary Mullis shared a Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the conceiving PCR technology. Okay, this is also important point you need to remember when Kary Mullis got Nobel Prize. Okay, so these are some of the brief history of PCR, how it developed and who has developed. Now, purpose. What is the purpose of PCR? Students, again I am emphasizing that in cloning you need much more copy of template. For that purpose, to amplify a lot of double-stranded DNA molecules, that is fragment, with same or identical size and sequence by enzymatic method and cycling conditions. So for that purpose we use PCR. Within short period of time you will get huge number of template of a very minute amount of DNA. Okay, so many copies of DNA you will get. Next, conditions. Actually this is not the condition, it is appropriate to call it different steps of PCR. So these are the three different steps. First one is denaturation of double-stranded DNA template. Second is annealing of primers. Third is extension of double-stranded DNA molecules. Now we'll see them in detail one by one. Denaturation. This denaturation is nothing but the separation of DNA strand. Students, you might be knowing that DNA is made up of two complementary strands, and these two strands are joined to each other with the help of hydrogen bonds. So in PCR, first step, that is denaturation, both the strands get separated. As you all know that at particular time and temperature, these two strands get separated, that is known as denaturation, and for this purpose there is a particular temperature, that is 92 to 94 degree. Okay, so this is the denaturation, that is the 92 and 94 degree. Second step is annealing. Annealing means binding of primers to the template. Temperature is 50 to 70 degree. Primers bind to their complementary sequence. As you can see in the diagram, there are two strands which are separated, and 3' of each strand there is a binding of primer. There will be two primers, one is forward primer and second is reverse primer. Okay, so these primers will bind to their complementary strand. Students, I am trying to make you better understand and try to focus on this concept that this primer always bind to the 3' of the DNA strands. Always it will bind. You might be knowing that both the strands are complementary to each other. What is the funda of 5 to 3, 3 to 5? I hope you all know. Okay, this is very important for primer binding. Where it always bind to 3' only, because you know that DNA will synthesize in 5 to 3 direction. Okay, so this is the annealing. Now extension. This is the final step of PCR, that is extension. In this stage, Taq polymerase will bind to primer and extend the synthesis of DNA at the 3 ends of the chain. Okay, so this is the extension and it requires all the raw materials like DNTPs. Temperature will be 72. So these are the 3 different stages of DNA PCR, how DNA amplify. This is the overall summary of PCR. You had single copy of PCR template DNA, that is. After PCR, you have found that huge number of copies of DNA synthesized. So this is the overall summary of PCR. Now, what are the chemical components of PCR? What are those requirements? So these are some of the most important steps and chemicals which required to carry out PCR, like magnesium chloride, buffer, DNTPs, primers, DNA polymerase and target DNA, that is template. Now, what are the basic requirement, how much amount they required? Then DNA sequence of target region must be known. This is for the designing of primer, because this is the first step. Until unless you are not going to know about the sequence of your template, you won't be able to design primers, and primer is the first step which bind and extend the DNA synthesis. Then second step is primers. Typically this primer is 20 to 30 base in size, but it may go beyond that size depending on situations. Next is thermostable DNA polymerase. This is very important. Taq polymerase. This is very specific type of polymerase which is not inactivated by the heating to 95 degree. Student, you might be knowing during enzyme, I have taught you that enzyme has particular temperature. Beyond that temperature, all the enzyme get deactivated, denatures. Okay, but this enzyme is very unique type of enzyme. That's why this enzyme is being used in PCR. And again, I'm emphasizing that in your competitive exams, they used to ask which enzyme is used in PCR. Why Taq polymerase is used in PCR? So remember it. Anyhow, this is very important. Okay, because this enzyme can tolerate 94 degree, 95 degree temperature, and it will not denatured. Okay, deactivated. Next is DNA thermal cycler. That is the machine which can be programmed to carry out heating and cooling of samples over a number of cycles. Okay, next, so these are the